Hi guys, I'm sorry that this took me so long, but here I am doing an update on what is it like to be an exchange student in the United States. If you don't know already, I'm living here since September. I'm in Minnesota with the best host family I could possibly get. And I'm a senior in my high school. I'm in the Shakopee High School, which is like, let's say, an hour away from the capital, which is St. Paul. At first, I would like to talk about the school system because I feel like that's what is the most interesting and the most different. So when I first arrived here, I had just like 4 days or even less, like adjust, like actually realize like, yes, I'm here, I'm doing this, and I straight up had to go to school. I already missed 3 weeks of school because I arrived kind of late, but luckily my teachers were really kind and really helpful, and they helped me out a lot. So I'm doing great ever since the beginning, and that's like the first thing that it's different. I'm not gonna say any names, or I'm not gonna say that my teachers at home were terrible and I hated them, because it's not true. And also, I don't want to say anything harsh like that, but it's kind of true, to be honest. So here, if a student is not doing okay, the teachers actually care. Let's say with my history class, I was struggling a lot at the beginning. I had no idea what's going on. I never studied US history. They already had like 3 weeks of lecture done, and it was really hard to like catch up. And even though my history teacher is new, this is his first year of teaching, he made me stay in after school, which might sound as a horrible thing because you have to spend more time in school, but he made me come up from an F, which is like the worst grade you can get here, to an A plus in like a week. And that was my first week of being here, and that's the most amazing thing I think that's possible. Like, and it's not just my history teacher, like every single teacher here is so caring. Like, they're like your parents, but in school, if that makes any sense. And it might sound weird, but it's trust me, it's like so amazing. Like, walking into class knowing that your teacher actually cares about your grade, actually cares about you, like how are you doing, like what is it like in your personal life, like what's going on in like your life. Because if you're not really doing okay, they don't just go like spend more time with studying for this test or studying for my class. They like actually ask you if everything's okay, if you're fine, if you need help, which I feel like it's one of the best things ever that a teacher can do too, because you actually feel that they don't just care about your grades, they actually care about you as a person. And that's a really new experience. Other than that, if you don't know it already, the US system is, I feel like, 100% different from the regular European system. We have the same classes every day. I mean, my first hour, my second, my third is like the same every single day for one semester, and they will change up when we change semesters. And I every student actually has an opportunity to choose their classes, which if you're from Europe, you kind of know that it's not really an existing thing as a high school student. I got the opportunity to choose my classes too, especially that I'm an exchange student. I had even like a bigger space to choose my classes because they didn't really care about what classes I'm taking. This semester, I will say my most interesting classes are business dynamics, marketing, and interior designing. These are things that I found interesting before I came here, but I never really knew like what are they. So the fact that I'm only 17 and now I have a chance to like study these things are like amazing, because now I actually have an idea if I really do like it or if I don't find it interesting whatsoever now that I'm actually studying it. Because before I came here, I had no clue what do I want to do after high school, and now it's been almost 4 months since I'm here, which is, by the way, really crazy, and I feel like time is passing by really fast. I have actually ideas what do I want to do after school. I mean high school. I'm already planning on how could I get a scholarship here in the United States, which is really weird. And the reason why it's weird is because seriously, before I came here, it's not that I did not have a clue on what do I want to do. It's more like I did not care. I just felt like I'm not interested in spending more time with school than I already had to. I felt like exhausted. I hated going to school. I like hated everything there. And now I love going to school because of my teachers, because of the classes that I'm currently taking, and it's just like an amazing thing. And I'm not sure if I'm explaining this good enough for you to understand this, but as a 17-year-old girl, as a high school student, the opportunity to like study something else than science and mathematics and languages, to like actually figure out what do you like, and if you really do like it, if it's interesting for you, I think is the most amazing opportunity. Because when I will be choosing colleges now, I know like what do I have to look at, if they have the classes that I want to take, if they have what I want. And knowing this right now, I feel like I'm already a better person, and I feel like I step forward for my future, and I feel like I will have a much better future now that I experience this, and now that I have any idea of what do I want to do. And I'm so thankful that I can experience this. So I think that's it for the school part. If you have any questions, please feel free to like DM me, because I would love to answer your questions. Okay, so another thing, actually living here. Other than school, this might be even more interesting. Honestly, I don't know where to start. It's been only 4 months, or already 4 months. I can't decide which one to choose to say. I really do feel like it's been only just a month, and it's not true. I love it here. I already considered moving here, to be honest, because I love it here so much. The people here are so much kinder, and it might just be because I grew up in a part of Europe when people are generally kind. It's just, I feel like it's not that usual that you're kind to strangers as much as people here are. Like if you just walk into like a supermarket here, people casually ask each other how are they doing. Like they ask workers how are they doing, like how is it their day. And they might not care in a personal level, but it's just like a so amazing feeling, like walking into, I don't know, like Walgreens or wherever, and like somebody asking you, a stranger asking you, smiling, that hey, how is your day, or hey, I like your outfit, or I like your hair, like where did you get a haircut. Like these kind of like small things can make your day so much better, and people here are so much kinder, and they care about much more of each other. Yeah, I don't know, like I feel like to like actually understand this part of the United States, you have to come here and not necessarily live here or do an exchange. You just like, if you just go around here, like just walk in anywhere, I think you will experience this. And this might be in a different way in different states, but at least in Minnesota, it's really is a thing that people casually wave at each other. Like I remember that sometimes when I was walking home from school, and like drivers would wave at me, I would get like a bit like confused and sometimes even scared, because this was something new to me. Or waving at like a younger girl from like an older man in my country would be like a completely different thing, if you know what I mean. And I was telling this about my host parents, and they said that this is normal, and now it's normal to me too. And I love it. I love the people here, even though of course they can be rude too, like rude people are everywhere. But in general, I have no words for the people here. Like I feel like friendships here, by the way, are much harder to like make, and like to have an actual really good friend, because of this like let's be kind with everybody, it might be harder to get into like a real personal level with somebody, which I was really struggling with at the first part of my exchange year so far, because I would say that I'm a really social person, so of course I was kind with everybody, especially that I'm exchange student, and I just needed friends. And this sounds really bad, but that was the truth. Like, I needed to make sure that I will make friends, because that's a key for a good exchange year, to like have friends who you can hang out with. And luckily I found really good friends. I feel like I have a really good group of friends, and I'm lucky to have them. But to like actually build out those like friendships and those like personal levels was even harder, I think, than it will be at home. And I know it's been only 4 months and it's not enough time for like a true friendship or whatever, but I'm not even talking about like a lifelong friendships here. It's just like the general, like, I'm not saying like to like build up like a best friend relationship, but more like I will call her up if I need something relationship with somebody. It's so much harder. So that's something that was weird to me, because with that I expected it to be like easier to like have friends, to like have actually good friends. And sorry for repeating friends so many times, but this is what I'm talking about, deal with it. So yeah, my host family, I love them more than anything, and I'm so thankful that they chose me. Weird story. Okay, I think I will start like a new video clip for this actually. So if you know me, I was supposed to go to Texas. It didn't work out for different kind of reasons, which looking back is the best thing that could ever happen to me. I feel like this family that I'm staying with was like a meant to be thing. I'm not their first exchange student, but it's like a weird story, because actually they figured that they will host another person again 2 weeks before I arrived. So YFU, the organization that I'm here with, called like X host families up if they want to host somebody, and they decided that yes, they want to, so they chose me. And 2 weeks later I arrived, which is really crazy to think about. But seriously, I feel like we have a really good relationship and we get along a lot. And I start to feel like sorry, it's just like kind of like an emotional thing to talk about, but I kind of feel like that they are like my real parents. And yeah, I'm living with them, so maybe it's like you think that it's like obvious that you feel like they are your real parents, but obviously they are not. And I know that a few exchange students are not really experiencing this with their host parents, or like didn't, like ex-exchange students, and I feel so blessed. Like I don't have siblings whatsoever, and now I have plenty of them, and I get along really good with them too, which is like a really nice feeling to like have siblings, because I always wanted some, and now I have some, which is like such a heartwarming thing. And my host parents are like the most amazing people ever. They like so kind and lovely, and I feel like they love me a lot. And we joke a lot about like me being stuck with them and everything. It's like we can joke about everything, even like sassy things, which I was a bit scared and skeptical about at the beginning, because I didn't really knew if these kind of jokes are like a good idea. But like the fact that I can be myself around them is the most amazing thing ever, because that's like the foundation of having like a good exchange year, that you get along really good with your family. And this is why exchange student actually can't choose their host families. The family chooses the exchange student, because they just have to know if they think that they are gonna be like a good match with the student. And I know that a few exchange students sometimes like have to change host families because something is not really working out, but I'm 100% sure that I will not have to, because I feel like we get along so much and I already know that it's gonna be really hard to leave them. And yeah, thanks to them, I'm changing a lot. So if you are one of my friends, it might be really weird to like see me talking in English, because it's like not really like a usual thing whatsoever. I'm changing a lot as a person. I feel like in 4 months I changed so much that sometimes I'm looking into the mirror and I'm asking like, who are you? And I don't know the answer for that question. Deciding to do an exchange year is a big decision. You are leaving behind everything: your family, your friends, your relationship, your life, yourself. You get a fresh beginning. You can show whatever. When you come here, you can act differently than what you are. You can actually show yourself who you are, and you decide who you are. And it's really interesting, to be honest, because you really get like a fresh start. Like, nobody knows the mistakes you made in your life. Nobody knows anything about you. They only know what you're saying, which might be like a bad thing, because they only know what you say, so they don't know the other side of the story, obviously. But I've changed so much already, saying this again, that I know that by the time I go back, I'm gonna be a different person, with looking the same, having the same voice, the same name, but not the same personality. So I'm sure that I will do another video like before I leave or around that time. But I would say that if you are my close friends or like a friend around me, please understand this. Don't expect me to be the same person as I was when I left, because I'm not. I am already not the same person. I think about things differently, I say things differently, and I'm not gonna go back the way I was ever again, because I love the person I'm becoming. And I hope that everybody around me will love this person too. And I'm sure that my really good friends will understand everything, because, by the way, many people are like asking me if it's hard to like communicate with my family and friends, and it's not, because I mean the time difference from Hungary to Minnesota is 7 hours, so I feel like it's decent. It's not terrible. Like, you can actually like call it, I can call up my mom, my best friend, my boyfriend, like everybody around me if I want to, and they can call me up too. We are texting a lot, so it's like you can figure out a way. So if someone is telling you that they just don't generally have time, that's not necessarily true. But at the same time, I kind of try to make sure that I'm not on my phone all the time texting with my people from home rather than people around here, just because I know that if I have real friends, then they will understand this, and I need to focus on what's going on in my life here right now. I need to experience everything that I can. Sometimes it's hard to like say no to myself when somebody asks me if they can call me up, or when I want to call somebody up, but you just have to learn these things. So yeah, it's interesting. It's way different than I expected, in both good and bad ways too. The bad thing is honestly maybe that sometimes it's scared at how much do I change. Like, one of my friends who is in California, she painted her hair to a blonde color and she was a brunette before, and I'm not going through these kind of changes. It's more like what's going on in my inside, and it's scary. Even though, as I mentioned earlier, I love the person I'm becoming, it's weird to feel week by week that I'm a different person every time I wake up, every time it's another week, every time it's another month. Every time I call up my best friend, I feel like I've changed so much that I'm scared that she will notice it and freak out that I'm not the same person as I was before. It's weird. It's a big commitment. I don't regret it. Even though sometimes people around me might feel like I'm regretting it, I'm not. This is the most amazing thing that could happen to me at this age. I know that not many people can get an opportunity like this at this age, and I'm super thankful for that. And I'm trying to do amazing things meanwhile I'm here, and yes, it's almost half time. I finally managed to do a video about being here, and I hope you enjoyed. And again, as I mentioned earlier, if I didn't talk about something that you want to know about being here, being an exchange student or living here, please feel free to contact me, because I would love to answer your questions. Or if you are thinking about that you want to be an exchange student, please feel free to ask, because yeah. So I think that's it for now, and I don't know, at some point I will make new videos. Bye.